A look at what led up to the announcement by the FBI director. Could the Justice Department have stopped this? Some insight from a former Attorney General next.
There is a reason why we have the standards and the traditions and the protocols that say to the FBI and the Justice Department, you know, don't do this kind of thing right before an election. And what he's done is basically place this black box filled with innuendo and conspiracy theories and almost no new evidence right in the middle of this political campaign.
That was part of my conversation earlier with Chарльzа Sayks, conservative radio talk show host in Milwaukee. This about the FBI review of a potential new set of messages that may be from Hillary Clinton's private email server. Joining me now, Kendall Coffee, former U.S. attorney and federal prosecutor. It's nice to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alex.
Want to get your reaction to what Chарльzа Sayks just said and what you make of James Comey's decision on Friday.
Well, I think that I agree that it's extraordinary. It's unprecedented, but I think Comey had unprecedented circumstances. Wisely or unwisely, he got out in July and basically told the public and told the Congress that there's no further investigative steps being undertaken here. In October, apparently that's not true anymore. So Comey had two bad choices in front of him, and he ultimately decided in favor of disclosure and put himself in a very difficult position. But his obvious decision was that rather than misinform the public by silence, he was going to accept the risk of getting a lot of heat, and that heat will keep getting warmer and hotter this week.
So that description there says it's an unenviable position he got himself into.
And he got himself into that position with another unprecedented scenario, which was he basically made himself the decider and the communicator to the Congress and the public on this issue. And I assume that's why he felt that he had to make this next disclosure when circumstances apparently changed.
So, Kendall, tell me about the relationship between the Department of Justice and the FBI. I know that NBC News has learned Comey sent that letter against the advice of the DOJ and Loretta Lynch. Could the Justice Department have stopped this?
Well, disagreements between DOJ and the FBI are not extraordinary or unprecedented. This scenario certainly was. But I think the DOJ could have taken a stronger position. As I understand it, we're all reading the tea leaves and the leak leaves, that he was advised against it and advised correctly that it would be a departure from normal DOJ policy. As far as I know, he was not ordered to stand down, and I think as we reconstruct this months from now, that'll be one of the questions that's asked. Could there and should there have been a much stronger an outright rejection of his intended course of action?
So does the FBI director now have an obligation to clarify what was in those emails, considering it is so close to the election?
As much as possible, he needs to do that. Unleashing a cryptic bombshell is probably not good enough. Now, we don't know what might be there, but at a minimum, if his focus is the Anthony Weiner laptop and the view that, in fact, there may have been information in there that wasn't supposed to be in the hands of a civilian who clearly would not have been an authorized person, if this is all about Uma Abedin, then I think there should be some indication or some statement that we have no information at this point that implicates Hillary Clinton. Because at the end of the day, that's what the public is very, very understandably anxious to know. So
you're saying that he should do that. What's your best guess? Will he do that?
Don't know if he will, because there are probably people in the FBI that are saying we simply don't know. But just as everything about this election and this case is extraordinary, I think he needs to consider extraordinary steps so that once he's unleashed this incredible uncertainty, that he provides the kind of clarity that's most important, and that clarity is there any reason to believe in anything that's known right now, today, on the eve of election, that implicates Hillary Clinton?
But, Kendall, if he were to come out and do a clarification statement, do you sense there's any way that would risk compromising the investigation? Is there something that would hold him back from doing that?
Well, the very cautious thing to do is to say that any announcement compromises the investigation. But I think you have to drill down a little deeper here and see if there's any real prejudice. I don't see it. There's already been an investigation, so a lot is out there right now, and I don't see a risk to the investigation at this point. Yeah, standard operating procedures to say nothing more, but there's nothing standard about this procedure.
All right, Kendall Coffee, always good to talk with you. Thanks so much. Appreciate your insights.
Thanks, Alex.